friends, Claire Parlow, who relayed to Claire a passage from 2 Corinthians 1, 3 through 5, during his grieving and during a very tough time for all of us at that point. Here's what that passage says. Praise be to God, the Father and the Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of comfort, who comforts us in all of our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort with ourselves received from God. For just as we share abundantly in the suffering of Christ, so our comforts abound through Christ. And Claire comments that, isn't it typical of your dad to begin with praise in his time of sorrow? Thank you.
Morning. I'm 6, so I'll try to keep it together here. My dad was many things to many people. A listener, teacher, comrade, confidant, counselor, coach, leader, and friend. But to me, he was everything. It was as if God let me borrow an angel just for me. He opened his home and heart to an orphan in need and of a family in need of love. Unlike others who never once brought up my lack of blood relations. As a little girl, I witnessed what a prominent and reliable figure my father was to many people. But in the privacy of our home, he was so much more. His touch could soothe and heal the soul. I found myself always in constant physical contact with my dad, like he was some sort of magnet. I recall being at his father's funeral, and he and his brother were having breakfast downstairs in the hotel. My cousin and I were sharing a room, and we entered the breakfast room, and she took a seat next to my uncle, his brother, and I took a seat on my dad. I just plopped right on his lap, and sadly he was used to it, he'd get his groan, and my uncle and my cousin just stared at us across the table and were really confused, and my dad and I just giggled and said, this is just us. But I did, I craved his touch. I used to spend hours trying to wrestle him and tackle him. I would be draped around his neck for piggyback rides. We did this walking tunnel thing up the stairs. I would usually put him in the water and climb all over him like a jungle gym and have him throw me for hours. Even when we would sit in church, I would just sitting next to him, hugging his arm. Or when we used to walk, his hand, I don't know if you guys remember my dad's hands, but they were huge. I couldn't get my hand around him, so I always just grabbed the pinky and held on him. His touch brought me comfort, love, and peace. I got to repay him once, as we sit right here in the front row during my mom's service, and he grabbed my hand and he just never let go. I hope that I brought him a sliver of the comfort that he always brought me. As you heard, Dad grew up in a military family of modest means in Minnesota. He was the middle child of 3. They suffered a tremendous loss with the loss of his mother when he was young. They moved around a lot, and he was separated from his siblings, but this never weakened his deep sense of family. If anything, it made him crave the family bonds even more. As a rather chubby kid, he excelled in academics, especially math and science, and kids used to tease him a lot, and they used to call him, his nickname as a kid was Ollie, as in Oliver Hardy from the duo Laurel and Hardy. It wasn't until high school that his athletic talents and prowess really started shining through. And as you know, he played 3 collegiate sports, which is practically unheard of.